Hello, everybody. We welcome everyone to today's section of the Study Abroad journey. And so we are here to answer your questions. I know most of you have applied and you are waiting for admissions, and it's a good thing to do as of now. We encourage you to put in more efforts by either contacting some of the program coordinators and also possibly try to maybe pray through and then also your supervisor. If you have gotten a supervisor, try to talk to the supervisor. If you have still not gotten a supervisor, you can actually wait for it and hope that the best will come out of it. So if you have any question, you can ask the question and it will be answered on behalf of everybody. Hello, are we here?
Yes, we are there.
Okay, yes. So if you have a question, you can ask your question so that we proceed. Do you have any questions?
I think the other day I asked a question concerning a bank statement, whether you can use someone's bank statement for your school application.
Someone like bro, you said someone like who? Like it's your uncle, your parents, or your close relative? Who is that someone?
Maybe it could be your friend or your relative.
Okay, so if based on what you have asked, when we look at bank statements, most of the times it's advisable that you send a relative. Either the person is your mother, father, brother, uncle, or any of the relatives, or a company's bank statements. Those are the people that we send their bank statements to the interview session. A friend is a different thing, because they know that no friend can actually give you money to support your education. So they believe that if it is a parent, if it is an uncle, if it is somebody closely related to you, then they believe in that bank statement more than a friend. So it's advisable you use your close relatives' bank statement. And either you can also use what we call the company's bank statement. So some companies that you work in, they can decide to write or give you their bank statements and write an affidavit of support so that it will support you. So even some of the schools that you get, some of them will require that after you have submitted the bank statements, you have to also submit an affidavit of support. And so the person, either the manager of the company or your parents, those people have to sign on the affidavit to declare their allegiance of support. I don't know if you have got third. Hello, Bryzik. Are you there? Are you okay with my question? With my answer, sorry. Okay, so Brother Swan, I can see your hand up. Can you ask your question? Hello. Are we here? Please unmute yourself and talk. Okay, so as last time as we are talking, if you have admission and maybe the funding is not all full, that is a partial funding, what the school normally requires is that you have to submit a bank statement. The bank statement that you are submitting the bank statement to prove that this person whose name is on the bank statement is going to support me. That is what it means. If you submit a bank statement to the school for them to give you the I-20, what it means is that you are proving to them that you can support yourself with that bank statement. Actually, they are not going to deduct that money from the person's account, no. But you are proving that when you come to the States, that bank statement is going to support you. So what people do is that they will reapply to other schools to weigh the opportunities from other schools. So when they get a better funding from another school, then they will choose that school than choosing the one with lower funding. That's why a lot of people apply to several schools, so that will give them a better options on which of the schools they have to choose in terms of financial support. So that is what it means. And latest by February, even I think some of the people, their admission decisions has already been taken, and so they know their fate, whether this school is accepting them or not. Others too are still waiting, and so in waiting, sometimes you have to talk to the program coordinator. That's why we told you that send code emails. Yes, I think since last year I've been telling you to send code emails to lecturers that you should work, you are willing to work with them. And so if now you have a supervisor, an advisor you have to continuously talk to the person. Sometimes you just have to say, hi, Prof, I want to check out how you are doing or that. And the person can also relate well with you. But if you have still not gotten somebody who is going to serve as an advisor to you, you can send a program coordinator a message to find out how far with the admission decisions. Some can tell you that, oh, we are on it, we are actually going through, so don't worry yourself. When we are done, we will give you the decisions. So that is how it is. So let's keep on. This journey is like that. From one step to another. You can't not move from the bottom to the top or from the top to the no. It's a step-by-step process. And so once you get admission, if there is no funding, you need to sometimes talk to the school. The graduate school, you can talk to the graduate school, you can talk to your program coordinator, you can also talk to your advisor. That are there scholarships available? I would really appreciate it if I can get a scholarship, because most of the people in Africa is somehow, if maybe your guardians, your parents are not in government, sometimes it is somehow to get funding about 3 billion to support yourself in the United States or Canada. Okay, so Isaac has still raised the hands. Isaac, can you go ahead and ask your question?
All right, still concerning the bank statement. The bank statement you submit to the school for the I-20, is it the same bank statement that you use when you are going for the visa interview?
Yeah, that is a good question. So, Isaac, what it means is that you can submit that bank statement to get your I-20, and at the same time submit the same bank statement at the interview. Are you getting me? So you can submit the same bank statement for your I-20, that is to the school for your I-20, and then you can also submit the same bank statement at the interview. Others too, what they do is that because on the I-20, they will not actually put the name of the person on the I-20. They will just say a relative, family funds. So the family funds, it means it could be your father, your mother, anybody, uncle or auntie or niece or nephew, somebody in the family. So once they have placed family funds there, it means that you can also submit a different bank statement at the interview, because it may carry different name or something. I don't know if we are getting what I'm saying.
Like, yes, but must it bear the same surname with your surname?
Once it is a family funds, then if the person is your father, then it should bear your surname. If the person is your mother, then you should share some similarities, especially brother. It should also serve that similarity of a family name like that should be on it. But an uncle there, it can change, because sometimes we have a long family system, that is the extended family system, and so because of that uncle may not bear your surname, and so that one, if you say it is your uncle, they will still believe, because some uncles do not bear the family name. You get it?
All right. Thank you very much. I'm clear here.
You're welcome, bro. Brother Smile, I can see your hand up. Can you kindly go ahead and ask your question, or mute yourself and ask your question?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me ask my questions according to importance. So my first question, when we are done, I continue, is that with regards to graduate assistantship, you realize that when we visit most of the school sites and you want to read information about it, they mostly tell you that they only would give or would have a hearing on concerning graduate assistantship, or they would rather listen to you, or you'll be picked, or you'll be given opportunity to apply only after you are admitted, because they wouldn't wish to pick people that would probably not be admitted later. So how do we deal with that? Or we should still keep on checking on these professors? Or somebody will also say, okay, well, let me wait when I'm admitted before I go. What will be the effect of that? Okay. So then that's my question for now. Then maybe later I'll ask the next question.
Okay, that's a good question. So in the US, what it means, most of the schools, not all of the schools, most of the schools, what they do is that when the admission comes, then there is an also addition of the scholarship. So when they give you the admission, then the next letter that will be attached to it is the scholarship letter. Sometimes some schools do not do that. Some schools will tell you that you have to apply for the scholarship. Sometimes you can also get a partial funding from the school, and so you want to apply for other scholarships which are available. So you have to talk to your program coordinator to find out the available options that are in the department or in the school, so that you cannot apply for those scholarships if the person is given a partial funding. So that is how the US system works. So most of the schools actually add the scholarship in addition to the admission letter. Others too will tell you that after admission you have to apply for the scholarship. And we have instances where people don't even get scholarship and they apply for on-campus job, and so when they come, they're able to do that work to support themselves. Some others too, sometimes they are not given scholarship instantly, but when they come to the States, then the second year or so, they are given funding to continue their education. So it all depends on how well you communicate. With the program coordinator, especially if there are no scholarships attached to your admission.
Okay.
Do we have other questions?
Okay, yeah. I have the second question. So there's this school, Missouri S&T. When they gave admissions to some people last year, which is for this spring 2024, you realize that in the bank statement requirement, they said that if the bank statement is going to be of a company or of a body or an institution, then the said individual coming with the bank statement would not be qualified for a $15,000 scholarship they have given. Then the person would be required to pay fully for the program. How do people handle that when some schools request for this?
Okay, so I think all of these things are based on negotiations. So the best way the person would have approached this situation is that he should have talked to the graduate chair or something like that, so that you find your way. Sometimes even the company which is supporting you, you are not a permanent staff. You might be like you just went there and work, and so you don't have the promise that even when you return, they will even pick you back. So what it means is that the person must negotiate with the admission committee, the program coordinator, or the graduate school committee chairperson, so that he can find his way out. Because if that 15,000 is taken away, then the person must provide a huge bank statement, and it's going to really affect the person. I don't know how they do that, but I think most of the schools, they don't really do those things. It doesn't bother whether you are bringing a company's bank statement or a personal or maybe a parent's bank statement. So sometimes they are all boiled down to negotiations, how you talk well with them, and they're able to give you the scholarship. Then you also provide a bank statement of your company.
Okay. So since we are still on bank statement, let's say Mr. A has got admissions to a particular school, and Uncle B's bank statement, it's not going to be enough to tally up. Uncle C is also available, and should he give a bank statement, it can tally up. Is that possible? And would you advise people to go with that for visa interview? Would they be able to get their I-20 with that bank statement, and how would that be handled during visa interview?
Yes, we have situations where the first person who provided the bank statement, the money in the account is not enough to actually suffice for the cost of attendance. So what it means is that you have to actually get another bank statement that will complement the full cost of attendance. So it's possible to collect a bank statement from two people, maybe from your uncle, one of your uncles, then one of your aunties. You can combine the two and send them to the visa interview, or you can also submit that for your I-20. So the issue of the money in the account is not enough. Maybe the person must provide a bank statement of, let's say, $30,000, and here is the situation: the person is having 15,000 in the account. You can collect another person's bank statement in addition, that is a family member or a company, to add up to this. And when you get to the interview, you have to explain yourself that these are the two people who provide the bank statement. You're able to explain the points. That's why when it reaches the time of interview, we have time to explain certain issues like this, so that people can get abreast of what they are going to say at the interview and they don't fumble there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I can see Ernest. Ernest, so can you ask your question?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, evening.
I've applied to a school, and then they said I should upload my set, which I did, and my transcript. But of late, as I'm still checking the portal, they said I should reapply again, and as I should re-upload the same certificates and then the transcript. And as I'm doing it, it's not giving me any response. And I don't know, so I just want to have.
So, Ernest, do you know what to do? What I would advise you to do to contact the program coordinator for the issue that you are facing now. So, you contact the program coordinator, then you tell him or her that you are facing a challenge of uploading your documents that they told you to re-upload. So that either you will send it to him or her, and he will upload them for you, because they have access to the portal, so they can do everything even there for you. So kindly contact him this Monday, and let's find a way out.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ernest.
Yeah.
Do we have other questions?
No, from me there, I'm almost certain with your explanation.
Okay. That's fine. So I will encourage each and every one of us that don't apply to only one school and just sit down and wait for. It might be that one school will work through, you get admission, you get funding, but the fact of the matter is that when you throw your opportunities, like you open up and you don't put all your eggs in one basket, it also helps you to make a choice.
Okay.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
That's fine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, Ernest, you are welcome. So I'm actually addressing the whole house, and I'm telling them that let's actually expand our horizon. Let's apply more. If you still see certain applications which are free or something, or maybe you have a resource, you can actually apply to those schools. And then I remember last year, the last school that I applied, that is where I am now. So this is the last school that I applied, and this is where I am now. So I encourage everybody that possibly you can apply more, and all will and things will work out. Bro Isaac, you have raised up your hand again. Can you go ahead?
All right, so I wanted to also find out about the school application. Fall admission, most of the schools, they will be closing around 15 February. So now, is it still advisable to apply to some schools once most of the schools will be closing around 15 February? Is it advisable to apply for the fall term?
Okay, bro. So it is very, very advisable. Even the D-Day of the closing of the application, you can still apply. So even the day of the deadline, you can still apply to that school. So it doesn't really matter whether the time is near or far. So what it actually means is that the earlier you apply, the better your chances of getting admission and also funding. So if they have already decided on the number of people they are giving funding to, and you come and apply later, then your chances are limited. But if you apply as early as possible, and then you are included in the people who will be given those assistantship, admission and everything, then it's fine to apply early. But if you wait until the last minute, that's when even sometimes you yourself, the lecturers are not able to send the recommendations on time, and so you'll be fumbling on that end. So it's advisable to start early. But if you have still not started, or if you have still not applied, it's still not late. You can still do something about it.
But most schools also prefer your transcript being evaluated. So in this order, from now to 15th, is it not too short for you to do all those things?
I think those people who have actually done the evaluation of their transcript, it took them 2 weeks. And so if let's say today is exactly 20th of January, and you have about 25 days to 15th of February. So which means that you can still do it and still submit. Even when you submit it to West and West is evaluating it for you, when West is done and even the deadline is up, they can still submit your transcript to them. So the fact is that you just have to apply and submit your everything. And if you are doing West evaluation, you also have started and paid and sent your transcript to them, and they have also started evaluating. That one, when West finish, they will just forward your transcript to them, and so all the process will go through for you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, bro. Ernest, I can still see your hands up. Hello.
Are you taking me or Brother Eric?
Yeah. Okay. So, Brother, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Okay. So now, as a matter of fact, when we see those essays posted on the platform of people having got their visa approved, many a time we see the embassy or the country where the visa was approved. Sometimes you see Ghanaians yet visa approved in Ivory Coast, sometimes Liberia. It's seldom. Once a while you see South Africa, sometimes other countries around, and they are of Ghana. Now I want to know that, as a matter of fact, is it a matter of choice? They chose it, or time went against them, and that is why they had to divert to those areas where the embassies or the consulate are not that busy? And what will be the effect or the importance, or it may not have so much margin or effect on the individual? Because I know that it will be costly to move from here to Ivory Coast. If everything can be here, why would people wish to go to Ivory Coast? It will cost to go from here to South Africa or Liberia. So, I mean, how does things happen like this when people end up in other countries? I mean, and what happens? Thank you.
That's a good question. So there are several ways people actually move from their home country to other nations to actually have their interview. One of the reasons is that since the COVID-19 struck out, and then there was a backlog of large number of people. So people were not getting dates to actually apply in their home countries. That's why when they see that there are nations or countries around them, and then they see opportunities where interview times are available there, they go there. So one of the reasons people were moving to other nations like Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso was that because of the COVID, there was a large number of people behind, and so there was competition in Accra Embassy. So the appointment date will be released, and within shortest possible time, the date has been taken by somebody. So people were not getting dates, and so they went there. The second reason why people actually move to another countries is that sometimes they are denied in their home countries, and so they move to those various countries so that they can get the visa. They have realized that, especially Ivory Coast, not recently, that some people went there and they presented fake bank statements, and so that has created a bad image for Ghanaians. If not that one, then Ivory Coast had been giving those visas easily to Ghanaians and even foreigners who are not Ivorians. And so that is also the second reason why people were going to Ivory Coast. The third is that, so I've said that because of the large number of people, and the second is that they were not given those visas in their home country. The third reason is that sometimes if the people are not having a full funding, you see the Ghana Embassy in Cantonment, that's the US Embassy in Cantonment, actually tries on people who are having a funding from their schools, the school that they are going. They mostly give those visas to people who are having full fundings, or sometimes even 3/3 of the funding, and so they give it to them. So if you are not having full funding, then it means that those people are denied of visas. And so if those people are not having full funding, they try to go to other countries like Ivory Coast and those places. Recently, one of the interesting things about the bank statements is that if you use someone, especially those people who sell those bank statements, if you don't verify from the source that those people are reliable and you present a fake bank statement, unfortunately, those people are banned 10 years. Recently, I was chatting with somebody who sent a fake bank statement to Canada Embassy, and so because of that, that guy has been banned 10 years. Now he cannot find his way out. He's trying. I advise him if he can try UK or something, but the system is sometimes interconnected. So especially Canada and the US, they are mostly interconnected. The system will just pull out every information about you. So make sure that those bank statements that you are presenting are genuine. The source can be verified, so that you will not be put on administrative review, and at the end of the day, an unfortunate thing can happen. So I think, bro, those are the three reasons why people move to other towns or countries for their visa. Please,
okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So I think I had an instance. One of my friends, he's now in second year doing cancer biology in University of Toledo, and he had to fly from Ghana in 2021. From Ghana, is it 2022? Yeah, 2021 fall, 2021 August. Yeah, he flew from Accra to Sierra Leone for the interview. And Sierra Leone, when you reach Sierra Leone, their capital town, the embassy is on an island, so you have to take a boat to the island for them to interview you. So those are the stress sometimes people go through. I remember Ivory Coast, some people had to pass through Western region to Ivory Coast, and they had to pass through canoe, use canoe to move over the water, the river to Ivory Coast. And there was a whole lot of stress. But now, since the COVID-19 subsided, and now we most of this thing has opened up, you can actually get an interview appointment date in Ghana. That is why if you had admission this time around, don't just sit down. Get your I-20, buy the MRV fee, and begin to find appointment date. If another school gives you a new admission and you think that school is favorable in terms of amenities, in terms of funding, you can actually go to that school by changing those information on the CGI portal so that you can easily book for an appointment date instead of waiting until somewhere May, June, then you book for an appointment. That time it becomes very competitive. You have to always wake up at 12 a.m. for you to get an appointment date in Accra, because a lot of people were not having the appointment dates. So you have to really be very critical about it. So if you have admission right now, request for your I-20 so that the I-20 can give you access to open the portal. You go and buy the MRV fee, MRV at GT Bank, $185. Then you can access the CGI portal so that you can book a date, because the date has been coming even whilst people have not yet gotten admissions. The date has been coming and going. It's a system, so they have been coming and going. But if you have your I-20, you have bought your MRV, you can easily key in your details, and it lasts for 1 year. It has passed within a period of 1 year. So within that 1 year, those schools that you have applied can also give you admission, and then you can just change the school name of that school which did not give you maybe good funding. You just change it. I think in my case that was the same. I got a school in 2022, but the funding was not all that strong, so I had to wait, and then I reapplied from 2022 2023. So I waited, but during that time I used that formal school, the I-20, to book for an appointment date. So when the new one came with good funding, then I just went and changed the school name, the service ID, and some few information. That was all. Then I changed them. So 2023, while people were struggling for interview dates, by God's grace, some of us, we had it earlier in 2022, so we didn't really bother ourselves. So it's one of the advice nobody might give it to you, but it's a strategy for you to have a stress-free appointment date and all that. Do we have extra questions? If you have any question, kindly ask your question. As we draw curtains down,
Okay, so mine wouldn't be a question. I would also like to add up to a few things you have explained. Maybe some people are not still getting it. Okay, can I speak now?
Yeah, bro, you can go ahead.
Okay, so with the WES evaluation, as our host has already said, there's still ample time to do WES evaluation. The problem with WES evaluation, everything that has to do with WES evaluation, the problem is you, the individual who is interested to do it. When your university sends the transcript to WES, the body today, the following day or two, WES will register it in their account and give you between 4 to 7 working days. They will be done with the evaluation. So all the delays will not come from WES. It has to do with you. If you pay and you get your reference number, your school, your former school you attended, you go, you request for the transcript. And for UCC products, for example, UCC, those who finish UCC, or if you are requesting for transcript, it's 50 Ghana cedis. You don't pay anything for UCC to send it to WES. Just request for your transcript. By this time, tell them you are not requesting for it in a hard copy form for yourself, but rather you are requesting for it and you want them to mail it to WES, and this is your reference number. That's all. UCC will not charge you and then and send the transcript to WES. UCC is obliged to forward the transcript in soft copy form to WES. So there's not going to be any extra charges. People would have to take note of that. Other universities may differ. Somebody who did it at Legon said they took 100 cedis. Somebody who also tried Takoradi Technical University said his school took 100 cedis. But UCC took 50. So schools may vary according to, I don't know how much K University would take, or the host may not be able to tell you exactly what. But everything that has to do with the delays involved, for them, they work with their system between 3 to 7 working days. So you have to be fast enough to meet their dates. It shouldn't be that when the deadline is given you by your school, then you want WES to maybe do the magic for you. So everything has to do with you. And please, with WES, there are documents you can upload before you pay your money to WES. And those documents are, example, your CV. But some documents, unless you pay and get reference number, you cannot upload them. People should take note of that. Example is your certificate, whether bachelor's degree or whatever HND certificate. You cannot upload it unless you pay and have a reference number. Then WES will give you access to do that. One thing I would also add to what the host has already said is that the embassy, even if people are denied, some of the information is that on your second attempt at the same embassy, you will not be interviewed by the first person who did interview you. If it was counter A that you got interviewed, the moment you get there, he would look at it and it is in his system that you have been denied by him. So he will refer you to another person. So people should not quickly conclude that, oh, if I'm denied here, then necessarily I have to go to Ivory Coast or some other country. Mostly I hear stories that people will be going to this Ivory Coast and then robbers cross them a whole lot because people want to just drive to Ivory Coast. They will not take flight. And so these are the challenges involved. So we can always be hopeful. So thank you very much, Mr. Host. That's a little I can add.
Okay, thank you, bro. So in this journey, my advice for you is that just put in the efforts because it's worth it. And so if you have still not get your documents together, begin to get them together, especially your passports. Your passports, if you still have not done your passports, that is an unfortunate thing to do as of now. You have to do it right away. You have to do it right away. Get some after admission, some of the schools will tell you to still let your alma mater or the school that you attended to send the official transcript to them. They consider it official when the school send it to them. If you yourself send it to them, you use it in your application, that one is still considered unofficial. So you will have to let your school send the official transcript to the school that you are admitted to, and that one will be on your records. Your recommendation letters, I think that one, it has already been written for you, and so you just have to let them know. The lecturers, when you put their names, their emails in the application portal, let them know. Don't fear to talk to your lecturers. Most of the times, it's difficult for some people to contact their lecturers because when they were in school, they didn't make any good contact with them. And so now they fear to contact them. Just do your part by contacting them. Just contact them. Find their number, talk to them very well. Say, just talk nicely with them. Nobody will hinder you from your traveling. No, that is fine. Get your CV updated. Your CV, get it updated. We have the Europass format there. Get it updated. Any of the advisor that you send a message to, a code email to, you have to add your CV and your transcript to it. A very short message. Don't send recently one lady sent her message to me. I intentionally made her send that message that she sent to the supervisor to me, and the message is a very long. The lecturer don't have time like that to go and read that long thesis. No, it just 2 paragraphs is they're okay. This one is about 6 paragraphs. No, just send a very short information to them, just expressing your interest in their programs. That is all. That is all. So, and get a very competitive statement of purpose. The statement of purpose must align the area that you are going to study. So if you are going into biology, if you are going into chemistry, if you are going into health, maybe epidemiology or something, let's say law or social sciences, channel your personal statement to meet that demand. Just channel your skills and your personal statement to meet that demand. We have a lot of samples that we have made you known. So if you still don't have samples, you can let us know so that we send them to you. It's still never late. I know somebody who even applied in April and still got it. This guy, the school has been pestering him to submit his application, and this guy still left it just like that. Just left it until things went into his eyes, and then later, latest in March, then he submitted the application. And when he submitted now, within shortest possible time, they gave him the admission. And so now he is in the state now. So let's get our document ready. If the school is sending you, just reply to their messages that they have been sending to you. If you think the evaluation is too much for you and you have maybe APA or something, you just apply. So it's not difficult. Let's do our best, and by next year, things will go well.
So that all of the normal, so no concern red flags for me. We'll follow the CT scan, but we will get that thing done close.
You maybe have a question. I think maybe says unmute herself. So maybe do you have question?
No, please. I don't have a question. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Maybe I get it. So what I would say is that let's put in the efforts. Are there any extra questions? If anyone has a question, you can ask so that we draw the curtains down and we hope for next week, God willing. So the interview, I remember when we got there, you see some people, you never think they are coming for interview. How they have dressed. So US normally, even when you come to the United States, you realize that for them, they don't value how much classy, like classy dressing and all those things. So some people will wear like what Isaac is wearing, and not even tacking what is on Isaac profile, just a t-shirt and small jeans, even some people nick Accra and bring it to the interview. So it's not all that giddy. Yours is to know what to say. Yours is to know what to say. So if you have admission, you have requested for your I-20, you have booked for appointment date, let me know so that we start a very, what do you call it, rigorous interview mock sections. Yes, we call it mock sections, so that you become abreast with how to answer questions. Your DS 160 failing, if you fail it, let me know so that we'll go over it. I have spent time with people, go over it, how to arrange the information. Some informations might be tricky, so you have to put certain things there so that you will not be denied. So I think those are my advice for you. Continue to put in the effort, continue to pray about it, continue to hope best in what you are doing, and all things shall be well. Thank you very much. I wish you all
Thank
the
you for
best.
your time.
So we have brought the meeting to an end. We hope for next week. God willing. Bye-bye.
Bye.